The Border Hotel is exceptional, food is exceptional, everybody there's got a beautiful smiling face, and yeah, I'm glad I booked that for the end of my Pennine way. I could, if I'm ever doing anything like this again, Border Hotel is the only place to be in Kirkyetim. Kirkyetim really is absolutely lovely. Apparently they're going to be setting up the tent and stuff for the spine race today. All the bookings and stuff are for tonight for the leaders and things. So that shall all be happening. I thought they might have been coming in last night, but I'm obviously over keen about abilities if you start on Saturday. Maybe unrealistic. Oh well, spine race. Maybe that's the next year. Bit of training. Who knows? Bring it on. Kelso's an amazing place. You're in it and you could be in Brussels or Bruges. it's got that, the buildings are all quite a little bit higher, and they've got that grand central square with a big hotel and a marketplace. Genuinely, Brussels or Bruges. Kelso, beautiful. I've seen lots of videos of people doing the Pennine way. I don't think people talk enough about the journey home. I mean, catch a little bus from Kirkyetim to Kelso, and Kelso is absolutely beautiful. Like I said earlier, it's a cross between Antwerp and Bruges. That's what my mum said when I just sent her the photograph. It's absolutely gorgeous. Lots of places to buy a can of pop. Other brands are available. And a rocky road. Gorgeous. There's a beautiful custard slice I wanted, but I agreed with the lady in the shop that it probably wouldn't travel well, and it was too big for me to eat in one go. But this is just lovely. I do this, then I go to Berwick, and I've got about 5 hours in Berwick before I get my later train, because it's about 50, 60 quid cheaper. Home. Happy days. This is really, really lovely. I'm determined to enjoy my way home as well. Just sat here, just thinking how at the moment I feel very much like a traveller. I feel calm and reconnected. Maybe that's because we're all travellers through life. But just doing something like the Pennine way, coming to a place like Kelso on the way home, you are being a traveller, so you're kind of tuned into that traveller status, which is the right status, because we're all just travellers through life. Interesting thought. Is having created such a kind of travelling persona doing the Pennine way, I wonder if it'll be easier to tap into that more quickly. You know, if I did a shorter walk next year, so I did the Cleveland way, which is 5, 6, 7 days. Would you tap into the same mindset because you've already made the pathways and grooves in your head? I've got a funny feeling that you would, actually. I don't think I need to walk 14 days to get into this space. I reckon in the future I could walk less. That's it. I'm now in Berwick upon Tweed. Train station's just over yonder, about half a mile down there. And I'm on the wall. They warn about a sheer drop. Yeah, they're not kidding there. I'm just going to walk around the wall. I think it probably ends somewhere near the harbour, and at that point I'll find a friendly looking fish and chip shop. See if the fish and chips compare in any way to Middleton on Teesdale. I'll have to do something to manage to do that. So I'm going to wander around. I guess I'll get a good view of the town from walking along the wall. You can see the bastions, so this is obviously one of the bastions, just like where I was before. Meg's place, I think it's called. That's another one of the bastions to make it even more secure. It looks like there was like a slightly outer wall as well before the bastion. clearly some serious fortifications. Those Scots must have been really troublesome. Bastions are all Elizabethan, built between 1560 and 1570, so you can imagine concern in England at Elizabethan times. Mary Queen of Scots allegiances with France. The Scots obviously invaded in Henry VIII reign, which Catherine of Aragon famously sent the Duke of Somerset up to deal with. And yeah, so clearly continue to be greatly worried about the Scots. Have rebuilt these fortifications to keep them at bay. Very impressive. Look, another bastion already. The other bastion is just there, clearly so that they can get across a fire. It's like, this is overkill. This is defensive overkill. This is built in a way to say, don't even try an attack. You know, that's, yeah, they've gone to town on this. There's a bastion always looking out to sea. Makes you wonder whether this would have been like new in 1588 when the Armada happened. This would have been fully stocked and ready to go, because with the Spanish Armada they didn't know whether or not they'd be using Scotland as a platform for attack as well. So when the Armada was defeated, I bet word would have got here already, and the Spanish ships had to sail around Britain, so most of them got kind of wrecked at various places. I can imagine a few Spanish galleys kind of going along there, and if you were a gunner on here, I bet you took pot shots. Oh look, some Spanish, let's take him out. I bet you wouldn't be able to stop yourself. There's a couple of Spaniards, let's see if we can get them. I'm off to read others whether that's the case, but I bet that happened. I bet it is. Fascinating. So this place here, so you've got the concrete bastions. It was still being used in the First World War. They would train the gunners to be able to shoot any foreign ships they would see, and obviously that'd be a big reason in the First World War, because most of the naval stuff happened in the North Sea, because the British fleet was moored at Scapa Flow for most of the time, so most of the action happened in the North Sea. There was also U-boats that used to float around. They were always looking for periscopes, because they were always patrolling, trying to find British ships that they could sink, and they were always looking out for them from the coast. It was a big deal. Well, yeah. So I'd walked the wall, I'd seen the town and its many vintage shops. I've had my fish and chips. So I decided the last thing that the town has to offer, is the wee lighthouse at the entrance to the harbour. So I'm going to go and stand at the lighthouse, feel the full seaside effect. Yeah. Back down there towards Berwick. As you look over there, you can see Linda's Farm and Bamborough Castle. I'm sure that you can't on the video. It's lovely. And here's the lighthouse called the Lowry. It's in the window, which is lovely. Yeah. There's a nice view over towards Linda's Farm and Bamborough Castle. So obviously we've been there, it's a family. But we didn't get quite as far as Berwick. Good place to come with a caravan, you know, Berwick. Just going to say that walking round Berwick this afternoon and Kelso this morning, it really feels like I've had an extra day's kind of holiday on my Pennine way. Been thoroughly enjoyable experience. Yeah, I think if you were doing the Pennine way and everything, a little visit to Kelso, and a little visit to Berwick Country. I hope that wasn't my train. I feel like I should do a couple of summing up videos about how I found the Pennine Way. I think I should split them into two, both physically and mentally. Physically, Pennine Way is beautiful. It's especially beautiful for the number of stages where you start in one place and end in something quite different, you know. That Tees Valley and then over the top and to the wild moorland was quite beautiful. There's quite a lot of stages like that where you felt like you journeyed to the other, and I really loved that. The distance and the people that you meet, absolutely fantastic. It's long enough to be a real, genuine physical challenge, short enough to clearly be doable, and it's beautiful. The places you go to, I've never been to the Yorkshire Dales, no idea it was that beautiful. It's really good. It's really good. And the amount of remote open moorland, which being a lover of Kinder Scout is my favourite landscape, was wonderful. So Pennine Way, 10 out of 10. Surprised me how few people walk it. I thought I would see more people on the Pennine Way than I did. Looking in the book, it looks like there's like one or two singles or individuals a day seem to walk it. I mean, the book at Kirk Yetholm. There's a lot of people who do it over 3 years, do it in 3 chunks. But in terms of people who just turn up, walk the whole way, and that's it, it's not many. It's like 1 or 2 a day, it looked like. It surprised me. I thought there'd be more, especially since I was June and finishing on the longest day. You know, I was on my own. Sort of second review is more mental. I found the Pennine Way very, very peaceful. It's calm and it's quiet. I've definitely enjoyed doing it on my own. I think for me it was definitely right that it was a solo trip. It's lovely the people that you meet, because you're on a journey yourself. You're kind of just meeting new people again and again and again. Which in most cases, not all cases, you'll never meet again. And that's lovely. And it kind of really just tunes you back into yourself. It does me anyway. I've always liked walking, and doing the Pennine Way has really tuned me back into myself. It's definitely made me like myself more. Can't think of better words, but I just feel calmer, cooler, you know, more me, more right. You know, and the way it leaves you feeling, it's a heck of a difference actually. And it just makes you want to feel like this forever and carry this forward into, you know, tomorrow, the day after, whatever happens next in life. Because certainly a good feeling, and because you've achieved something as well, you feel a sense of pride and power from that as well. Because achieving the Pennine Way is difficult, not just physically, but even just making the space to commit to doing it, planning it, takes a lot. It's not easy, which I guess is why so few people do it. So yeah, it's quite an enriching thing on a personal level, on a mental level. I mean, maybe for me it's been especially so because it's been something I've wanted to do for so many years. So to eventually do something that you've wanted to do for so many years means a lot. Yeah. Thank you, Pennine.